Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Deviance Shadow Prophecy, joined by Deviance Firehawk.
Hello, everybody.
Today we are doing Deviance Casting Episode 1. We will be casting a game of Cardfight Vanguard, a reasonably popular card game all around the world. We are playing at our local store, Coffs Harbour Good Games, managed by Vincent Young. He's a great guy. You should come and check him out. Today we will be featuring a game of Gear Chronicle on the right-hand side of the screen against a Nova Grappler Victor deck on the left-hand side of the screen. So let's start this game up and see how it goes.
Now let's be honest. We're all pretty sure that Gearcron's should win this one.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because one of Gear Chronicle's worst matchups is in fact the Victor deck, just because of the fact that it can restand its rearguards with a little cost.
Do you think, though, that the fact that Gearcron, and bear with me here, can actually just put those rearguards on the bottom with many cards that I can spend hours naming?
Well, see, that's where the matchup does come in. If the Gear Chronicle player is able to start off with a Caliburn in his opening hands to tuck the opponent's starter, that is a huge advantage. If they're able to time leap a rearguard when they have this Gear Cat stand trigger on the field, that's a huge advantage as well, because not only does it put their rearguard on the bottom of the deck, it also gives the Vanguard plus 10,000 power for the rest of the turn.
That can really change a matchup. This is the interesting thing about casting Vanguard is it can change.
It changes with a trigger. That changes a match. It's really interesting.
So, hopefully, my prediction here is Gearcron takes this. I'd like to see if the Nova Grappler...
Well, I think Gearcron should take this as well.
Yeah, hopefully the Nova Grappler...
Well, as I said, the game should be close, so we'll see how it goes.
And,
Alright, we see here players drawing their opening hands.
So hopefully they get something.
Oh, no, I apologise. Rolling dice. So, Gear Chronicle with an 8. Nova Grappler with 9, I believe that was. So, Nova Grappler electing that Gear Chronicle is to go first. Drawing opening hands.
Let's see what they decide
Nova
to do.
Grappler deciding to put 4 back. Gear Chronicle only taking 1. That is a good sign for the Gear Chronicle player.
As the Nova Grappler player, you've got to be a little worried when they only take 1.
As we see, players shuffling their deck, aiming to redraw. We'll see how it goes.
This is always one of the most important parts of the match, what you get in the opening hand, I think.
You just want to at least be able to ride through the grades, which is where the Nova Grappler does seem to be at a little bit of a disadvantage already, having to fall back. So we'll see if he can find the grades that he needs and get an interesting game on the way.
And here we go, redraw. Let's see if they get anything.
Seems happy with this hand. Gear Chronicle draws for turn, and decides to ride their perfect guard, passing the turn over to Nova Grappler. Draws for turn, also rides their perfect guard, declares an attack for 11, no guard is declared. Zazander is the trigger check, and Melon is the damage check. Interesting that Melon is damage check, depending on how many Melons are in fact played. That could be a very big disadvantage.
That is a very good card for Gearcron, but we do see the starter tuck right now, which was good for Gearcron.
Starter tuck is insane. Very good recovery.
Yeah.
And also you'll notice he is playing a 10k vanilla in his deck. Now there are reasons for this. The main one is in fact 7 Seas Rush, which we didn't see at this tournament, but it's good to see that he was prepared for it and paying attention to the Asian meta.
That meta can definitely influence the Western meta. You'll see potentially a Shadows deck that's very influenced by the Asian meta in this tournament.
Critical trigger as the damage check, giving 5,000 power to the Vanguard, up to 11. 15k attack.
See, do we
Decides to go for 1 trigger. So,
slight misplay there.
Is the drive check. Turn is passed. History Maker, another fantastic card for Gear Chronicle, really influences those turns where Melon really goes ham. Rides Babyface Narcissus, attacks for 9k. No guard is declared, no trigger.
You notice how you see a lot of the Gearcron now sitting in a much better position than the Nova Grapplers right now, with the rear guards at least on the field.
Yes. Though Nova Grappler does decide to hold a little bit of hand back so he can hopefully live through the first stride turn. As we all know, Metallica Phoenix is a very, very good card.
It can win games.
Oh, this is interesting. Gear Chronicle deciding to call their critical trigger just to get a little bit more early pressure, the extra 5k and hand advantage against the Nova Grappler player. Very interesting.
It's a wise strategy considering the Nova Grappler can push out a fair amount of attacks just off that first stride.
It appears that this Gear Chronicle player has played the matchup a lot before, as he knows what to do. Oh, that's not good. A G-assist from our Nova Grappler player.
It happens. You'll see a lot of decks that will lose immediately off a G-assist. But hopefully he can pull the next grade and...
Oh no, he misses.
Oh, he whiffs. That's bad.
That is unfortunate.
However, it does stop the Gear Chron from striding.
Yeah, but at this point, the Gear Chronicle player is so far ahead.
It's going to be difficult to catch up. They're going to need to get a lucky few triggers on the Nova side.
Yeah, hopefully he can find a grade 3 soon, otherwise this game could be over.
Might not be very long by the looks of this.
Rests to draw a card, so he does decide to go fishing for the grade 3, which is a very smart play.
It's one of the more interesting cards in that deck. Street Bouncer.
Calls Xander, attacks the rear guard, no guard but declared. Attacks Vanguard, needs a trigger to pass, no guard again. No trigger. Street Bouncer was the drive check. No damage trigger check, but Gearcron decides he wants to take one anyway.
I mean, at this point, I don't think it's going to change the matchup that much.
Draws for turn. We'll see what he decides to do here. He cannot Sea Breeze because he's only at 1 damage. So he calls a 10k and a 9k. Oh, and Urwart's Heart to the rear guard. That's interesting.
Gonna put some pressure on by the looks of it. Try and finish this match early.
To attack the Xander. Very, very smart play, but an intercept keeps it alive. 16k attack to the Vanguard. See what our Nova Grappler player decides to do here, whether he decides to guard or risk the Gear Chronicle player pulling a critical trigger.
Well, like you said, at this point,
he decides to go no guard.
The Gearcron player is so far ahead.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. The stand trigger was pulled. Decides to go after Xander again after giving power to the Vanguard. It's only a 5k guard. We'll see what happens. He does decide to guard it. Very smart play. Xander, one of the key cards in this matchup, and it gets huge on the rear guard.
Very key. It's one of his.
Finds the grade 3. This is now a game.
Oh, here we go, and he does hit Victor, which is the one he definitely wants to hit out of that deck.
Definitely does want to hit Victor.
Being a Victor deck, it is much better to be on Victor than any other grade 3 in that deck.
Well, you're very right. There isn't actually a Ashura Kaiser list going around Japan that's really interesting right now.
But I don't think we're going to see that out of this deck, at least.
No, definitely not, but it is really, really interesting to see.
Yep, bit of a rules check there.
Yep. Gear Chronicle player decides he cannot read. I say this as I am the Gear Chronicle player.
Funny about that.
Yes.
Yep, keeping that History Maker alive.
Arboreal attacks, standing the Xander, giving it power plus 5k, and 5k from its own skill.
See, we're starting to see a little bit of combo pieces coming out from Nova Grappler, which is nice.
Attacks for 19 at the Vanguard. It's only a 5k guard thanks to that trigger. Decides to guard with a draw trigger. Interesting, he's playing Lucky Pot as opposed to the 5k.
So if he hits, you get to stand something else? No, you're actually
Stands Xander off Victor's skill, giving it another 5k.
Yep, so here we're seeing the combo set up. Almost like the Nova Grappler is currently trying to end this match early, but can't really do it at this level of damage.
He needs to end it now, otherwise Metallica Phoenix is coming, and this Gear Chronicle player is set up to go. He is ready for everything.
Unfortunately,
no guard.
Unfortunately, early on,
a grade 3, and I couldn't quite catch what that was.
That was another grade 3 and a grade 2.
Ah, I see.
It was Malyaki. No, it was Malyaki. Sorry, that he checked. That's grade 1.
Ah, interesting. Okay, and
put another 4 on top of Xander just for giggles.
Decides to do something for giggles.
Unfortunately, I don't think no matter what he
decide
does,
to take a heel trigger pull, 5k to the Vanguard.
no matter what a Nova Grappler player does, I don't think he has lost this right now.
Well, it's interesting to see. If he can survive the Metallica Phoenix and go into another Victor, this game could get very, very interesting. He hasn't guarded a lot in the early game, as there's only, I think, 4 cards in his drop zone, so we'll see how that goes.
And there we go, turnover to Gearcron.
Over to the Gear Chronicle player. He stands and draws. Can he find something to stride with? He does look like he has a few cards in hand. He does have a stride fodder. Straight into Metallica Phoenix. No thinking there.
Really not. That is the perfect first stride for Gearcron.
Oh wow, Melem and TikTok. This is going to be an interesting game. This is the perfect setup right now for Gear Chronicle.
We're about to watch the death of a Nova Grappler.
This game might be over right now. So declares an attack. Time leaps the Erwatar into a Melem, retiring the draw trigger. Going to draw cards like crazy this game. We'll be getting at least 3 or 4 extra cards just due to Erwatar for this turn.
And that's even if the Nova Grappler manages to survive this turn, just because of the pure hand advantage.
Exactly right.
There's not going to be
the
much.
great thing about Erwatar is that you don't even have to put back something that you've drawn. You can put back anything from your hand.
Which is excessively powerful, but that is Gearcron for you.
Very powerful. Attacks with another 11. Melem is just putting in work right now.
So even Nova Grappler guard like crazy right now.
Gets another Erwatar. Attacks with Metallica Phoenix. Here we go. Time leaps Erwatar. I believe he flipped a Chronos Command Dragon, which is very interesting because if he survives this, he can actually go Chronos Command Revolution and put all of the rear guards on the bottom of the deck.
Well, that was just a smart play because Nova Grapplers really want a field, and if you can get rid of that field, you get rid of basically all of their power.
Yeah, very, very true. So resolving Erwatar before dry checks. Gearcron player not missing any effects or anything like that.
I'm cutting so many times I should take out right? So that puts you to 30...
We hear a joke from the Nova Grappler player there.
Yes, we do. So 41k is the guard. So 2 triggers to pass. Ooh, a critical trigger. All effects to Melem. Third check is a Tick Away Dragon.
That was a smart play with the triggers there. He didn't really want to take the chance of trying to go for the Hail Mary because he knows he's basically won this.
Exactly. So this is a 21k attack using TikTok and Melem skills. So binding the Melem, searching for a grade 2, and then calling a grade 0 at rest off of Melem's own effect.
We also see a G-Guard from the Nova Grappler player come out. 2 G-Guards down there.
Yes, and now we see the Gear Chronicle player going immediately for that Gear Cat, signaling that he does have a heal trigger in hand to get that 10k for the next turn. He also goes into Delayed Blazer off of the TikTok, which is very, very good, as it allows him to time leap his History Maker into another Chronojet, which can attack and get 2k power itself.
This might
and
be
that
the end.
is the game. That last attack was just too much for our player to handle.
Game, that was one hell of a game. We saw the Gearcron fire on all cylinders. It was more than likely that G assist that kind of killed the Nova Grappler off the bat. There just wasn't anything he could recover from. At the end of that...
it was very unfortunate.
It does happen, though. It's part of the game. Had he hit the grade 3, it might have been different, but the whiff wasn't particularly good. It kind of killed him.
Well, he definitely would have had more cards in hand to be able to try and guard that attack. But even so, I think the Gear Chronicle player was set up in order to survive the next turn and then hit him with the next stage the following turn.
Well, effectively, if the Nova Grappler player survived that turn, he would have had to hit one of his big Victor turns where he just can bounce and attack and attack and attack and hopefully burn through the hand quick enough. I don't think it would have worked, but that's how they would have had to play it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Anyway, we'd like to thank you all for watching this game. If you enjoyed, please hit the like below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Cardfight Vanguard games.
We'll see you next time.
See you guys.